Hello everyone. Fatty from Pack a Punch Traders here. Gonna go over my trade today on AMV as well as the top plays for tomorrow for February 16th. So let's just get right into this. AMV here. I got pretty lucky. I woke up late today, just after market open, around 10 minutes afterwards. So was a little chaotic in the morning when I realized I was late, but instantly I took off VLON off my watch as this was a top play for a multi-day bounce. And in my eyes, it had already bounced decently pre-market. I don't like to rely on, I guess, outliers. My data is usually, let's rephrase this, as we always say here, the multi-day bounce typically moves about 30% from previous close, and I try to work with that. That's my data. Occasionally, you're gonna get something that pushes higher, and in this case, that's what happens. So I usually see when we get a solid bounce pre-market or after hours, fuel is to the play is typically gone. I guess maybe an error of mine is there really wasn't much volume behind this push here. So when it failed to break down, that's when we got a lot of shorts locking in profits and any new shorts early on getting squeezed. So I stayed away because of that reason, and I'm okay with missing this. It it happens. You're not gonna get them all. I believe more times than not, I would be right and the play would be dead. I've seen it happen many times. So decided to stay away from this and look elsewhere for opportunities, and went to the scanner and took a look at AMV. And the reason this one really stuck out to me was someone mentioned this in the comments the other day. Um, as this was a play not too long ago. Would have been looking at this as a bounce play here. So, or was it the breakout? Ooh, I forgot how I played this actually early last month. But yeah, so it was in mine. So I thought it was kind of funny that it was on my scanner after someone just recently mentioned it just the other day. So it finally has a pattern for me. There was nothing all along, and we finally got some volume and a little gap up. It looked really good. Failed to break down. If I was awake early and prepared for the market, I would have most definitely been getting in this in the 170s, 180s. But I was a little late and hesitated for a moment, and it kept chopping around here, failing to break down, but also having a hard time pushing higher. So I decided to play this as a pre-market high break. That's how I would have typically played this years ago, but I would have got occasionally the pre-market high gets stuffed and it's used as a resistance area, and I would chase plays around pre-market highs, and I started taking some losses. So to adapt, started tracking another angle, and that's where I found the open price and VWAP levels being very key areas in the morning to trade off of when there's a failure to break down. So that's why I would have traded it here early on, as it confirmed this. But still kept in mind, this is holding up, failing to break down. You got shorts betting against this for sure, as the history here is trash. It does have history of running. I wouldn't even call it running, of spiking. But when I think of running, I think of multi-day runs. This one here, after every green day, typically gets stuffed. So would have been a safe bet to short against a play like this. So that's what seems like what happened. Fails to break down, and once it started breaching that pre-market high, where shorts would have likely been risking off of, as well as two, a key level psychologically, whole dollar, half dollar level, and at that point it'd be pushing to new highs. So shorts would want to be getting out, and from there it really got aggressive push higher, and then it got halted at 245, 246, and then that was that. Shorts got squeezed, fuel to the play was gone. So here I got it at 194 as it was perking through here. Held it for a couple minutes, and then we got that aggressive move higher. And each time I was thinking, okay, this looks like a good time to sell. Maybe momentum's fading. Boom, jumps another 5-10 cents. It went from the low, what was it? It was like the 190s, held around 2 for a moment, and then a burst of 210, 220, then 235 is what it jumped to, then 242, 245, then it got halted. And at that point, I was like, okay, I'm good. I'm up decently, almost 30%. So I put my market order to sell. Once it gets unhalted, just get me out. Ended up getting out at 251, 29%. Not bad at all. I will take it. It was on starter size, just 500 shares, but ended up being a good profit considering how much it ran here. Very fun to be a part of a move like this. It really woke me up for the day. At that point, I was definitely awake. um, but yeah, so that was just recognizing key levels and playing off of them, thinking like a short seller essentially, how they might approach this, and lining up all my bullish indicators, thinking, odds seem in my favor. So let's give it a shot. If it consolidated a bit longer, holding VWAP, probably would have added a bit more, but still grateful for 285 bucks within 11 minutes. That's including the halt, so even less time than that is what I would consider it. So nice play, and got a little lucky, but it is what it is. Just grateful I woke up in time as well for this. So that is that. Let's I guess just get to the top plays tomorrow. Let's keep this video short. I got KPRX multi-day bounce opportunity here, showing a decent bottom around 5. And instead of pushing lower like it has been the past few days, it actually held up, held red green, and made new highs. So not much volume behind it, but very nice to see this. Try to bottom out here around 5, and try to push to new highs, showing some indication that it's having a hard time going lower. So we'll just wait for demand to really come through to give us that push we look for on the bounce play. And same deal with SQL, showing some bottoming here, having a hard time pushing lower. Some weird action here after hours, but showing that it is trying to push higher and give a little momentum shift. So this one, way off the highs from the 2s, and now holding key level of 1. Already gave an impressive bounce here, but with that, it gave us a whole bunch of new shorts playing this move. So it'll still be they'll be part of the fuel to the bounce. As you can see here, fat red candle, very nice to see. So yeah, this is just a waiting game, looking for that momentum shift, that high day break, just like honestly, just like AMV. This or not AMV, excuse me, KPRX. Except this didn't really have the volume to keep pushing higher, but this would be the ideal entry, that high day break. That would be showing that shorts are having a hard time pushing it lower. Momentum is shifting, and instead of going to new lows, we're going to start moving to new highs. And right now, just waiting on that volume. So those are the top 2 plays that I have on watch for tomorrow. I know I usually have 5 or 6, but not a whole ton out there. Some things I just I wouldn't call them worth watching as top plays. Definitely something to keep in mind. Like CJJD here, we got a breakout in the high 7 area. What is it? 790, 791 up here, but still a waiting game. So wouldn't call this a top watch yet. I would like to wait for this to get back to the breakout level and confirm. And just different where I know these are waiting games, but multi-day bounce set up slightly differently, so I do got to keep them on watch. even when they're just kind of bottoming out. So, yeah, I guess that is it. We'll just wrap it up there. Solid day, kind of lucky, but I'll take it. Um, Good lesson on recognizing key levels and how to approach them and how to approach the multi-day bounce. You're not gonna nail them all, and I rather err on the side of caution and not play it and miss a possible play getting stuffed rather than keeping an anomaly in my mind as a way to approach other multi-day bounces. So VLON, it is what it is. I saw a decent gap, thought the play was over, but it had more in store. So we'll just leave it there. I don't want to get this video to 15, 20 minutes of me just rambling. So hope everyone had a great day, and we'll catch you all tomorrow.